I've got some new farkles for the bike that I'm going to do an entire vid about, and show you some of the cool new stuff that I've put on here. But most important of all of it, well, second most important of all of it, is I was finally able to access my Power Commander. And what I needed was the software to do it, which you can download from Power Commander's website. But I needed this cable because the Power Commander that's in it's a PC3. It's not a PC3 USB. It's just a PC3, which connects with a serial cable. Well, I dare you to find a computer that comes with serial connections, man. They just don't happen. Well, and if they do, it's a monitor port. So I had to go buy a cable to convert the serial to USB, which isn't hard to find, and they're not expensive. I think it cost me like $8. But it's just a matter of having the time to find one and go get it, and then having access to the bike and yada yada yada. So the other day I went and I got one, and the problem with this thing, the way it was when I bought it, is the guy had remapped it, and I don't know if they used a dyno to remap it or not. I honestly don't think so. The guy was a little bit of a speed racer type, and I think he went and found a really hot map to make it go really, really fast, but didn't actually put any effort into it. And this bike with the factory settings stutters and stumbles on itself at low speeds, especially with low RPM. Like right now, if I were to just barely crack the throttle and just to go from 39 to, well, from 36 up to 38, it would stutter on itself and kind of fall over a little bit. And it really isn't that big of a problem, except for when you're trying to navigate a parking lot or a slow corner like that. You have to ride the clutch a lot more. But it performed wonderfully in the top end. I mean, the bitch was fast. But I didn't like the low speed handling, so I was like, eh. And the VTEC transition was really bad. So on VFR Discussion, which is a forum that I'm on, it's a fucking awesome forum. Anybody who rides a VFR needs to be on this forum. This place is badass. I call it the Genius Bank because there's a couple of hundred members, and I have no idea where I'm going. Okay, that's the OST. I can take that back to the freeway. It's got a couple of hundred members, and these guys, they're everything from electricians to mechanics and engineers and, you know, software execs, and I mean, just the whole 9 yards. So if you need anything, or if anything is wrong with your bike, you go over to VFR Discussion and you just start search for it first, because there might be a topic already. But even if you don't search for it, they won't get snappy with you like some other forums, especially a couple of, like one of the video game forums that I'm on. Oh my God, if you ask a question that's already there, you get all kinds of attitude. Oh, why didn't you search it? Yada yada. Yeah, fuck you, okay? I'm lazy. That's why I didn't fucking search. Jesus. Well, on VFRD, they're just like, hey, this has been answered over here. Check out this thread, and if it answers your questions, fucking great. If not, let us know. Well, one of the guys a couple of years ago, OSD, okay. I think I want to go straight right there. A couple of years ago, one of the guys built a map that gets rid of this low speed stumble, and it also makes the VTEC transition almost unnoticeable. And it was like the godsend to Power Commander bikes, because it might make a few extra horsepower, but it's not meant for performance in that respect. It's meant to make it a nicer bike. And I wanted this map on this thing, but I couldn't do it. Well, I finally got that cable. Wow, it got dark. I finally got that cable, and I went and hooked it up to the bike, and I couldn't figure out how to work the software because it's not very intuitive. And I kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to call tech support later. I searched around on their site, and there are no downloadable instructions for the software on Power Commander's website. they have them for the PC3 USB and the PC4, and well, I don't think there was a PC4, but the PC5, and you know, everything that's come out since the PC3 had, but nothing for the PC3 USB, but nothing for the standard serial PC3. So I put it away, and the next day I woke up and I called tech support, and I think I was on hold for 15 or 20 minutes. And then the guy answered the phone and he says, you know, how can I help you? And I told him what was going on. I said, look, I bought the bike used. I don't have access to this, that, or the other. And he said, well, first, I said, hold on a second. I said, I ain't done yet. And he said, okay. I said, I've got the connection is good. It's reading data from the power commander, but I don't know how to access anything. And he goes, oh, good, you got the hard part out of the way. And he gave me a 30-second rundown on how the software works and what the numbers mean, which was another question that I had. And he basically gave me this rundown on how everything works. And this fucking phone call to tech support lasted like 2 minutes. And I was like, okay, cool. So I go out and I hook the computer back up and I load up the map and do everything he told me to do, and poof, I've got all the information for the map that's already on it and the map that I want to load, and you can compare them, and it's got all this nifty shit. And it worked. So I put on the new map and I took it out for a spin, and you know, it's like fucking 25-30 degrees outside, so I just went around the block real quick, and the low speed handling issues were completely solved. It's totally gone now. And in the running around I've done today, which admittedly hasn't been a whole lot, the VTEC transition has been completely unnoticeable. And it's all because of the way they changed the fuel map on this thing. It's beautiful. I mean, it really is. So I finally got all that dealt with, and I'm going to get slightly better gas mileage because the old map that was on it had some really atrociously high numbers. It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. You know, this is not a fucking, this isn't a track bike. You know, you can turn it into one if you want, but you're going to need to do a lot more than just put new mufflers on it and change the map. But it was getting like 30 miles to the gallon. You know, it was just eating gas alive, and it's not doing that anymore. I don't think it certainly, from watching the gas gauge over the last hour, it seems a lot better. So far I'm pretty happy with it, and it's just, things are just going fairly well. I think I want to turn here and head back home now.